Hello and welcome to another video. Today I'm going to be talking about anime piracy and if it is worth it. Now I'm going to get maybe some people mad at me for this video, but I'll just say it right off the bat. Sometimes I don't think it is worth it, and I'll just explain why. Biggest reason being that a lot of websites especially are pretty damn shady, or if they're not shady, their ads are, because a lot of the time they run really predatory or really malicious ads that I do not recommend touching with a 10-foot pole. You absolutely need an ad blocker for these websites if you plan on going on them. And that's why if you are going to pirate anime, I just recommend probably just torrenting stuff. Like, it's not really that difficult, and like it's not as convenient as just going on a website, as long as you just know where to look and just having an ad blocker on. But even then, like, yeah, those are convenient, but I still recommend torrenting. Yes, they take up a lot of space if you want to download it, but most of the time it's a lot safer than these really shady anime websites that I'm not gonna talk about because I don't want to fucking get arrested. I don't know. But yeah, you get my point. But honestly, I don't even recommend anime piracy a lot of the time because I just recommend physical media. I've always been a big fan of physical media, and it's really unfortunate that a lot of places are now fizzling that shit out. It's really bad, especially when it comes to like DVDs and Blu-rays. Because that shit looks good and you can actually keep it, which is the main draw of physical media. And I highly recommend just getting it if you don't want to go on a streaming service anymore, because I wholly agree with that. Because yeah, streaming services are very predatory and they're really annoying with how much they just take and give. Like, they just do that a lot and you don't own anything, and it's really bad. Meanwhile, when you buy something physically, you own it forever. You don't have to give it to anybody. You don't have to fucking give it up. Like, it's really good. I highly recommend that. Even for like older animes that, aren't on streaming services, I still recommend maybe just getting the Blu-ray or the DVD if you have enough money. Now, if you don't, if you're a broke boy, just say so. Sorry. But if you don't have the money, which is perfectly reasonable. I mean, I don't have like a ton of money either. Then yeah, you can just pirate. But again, if you are going to pirate, I recommend just torrenting instead of just going on a website, even if it is, more convenient. Again, those websites are still not amazing. I understand that torrenting can also be a little shady sometimes, but most of the time, I think a lot of the popular torrents are just rips from like a Blu-ray anyway. They're just rips from physical media. That's what I've seen a lot of the time, and they're not like too shady, at least from my own experience. But yeah, do I like highly recommend pirating? No. As I said, I recommend physical media more than anything else, more than even just getting a streaming service. But if you had to, then yeah, I think streaming services are pretty convenient. They're like, if you want to watch like one anime on one streaming service or just a couple on like Crunchyroll for a little bit, then I think it's fine. And you know what? Say what you want to about Crunchyroll. I am sort of glad. I don't like that they're a monopoly. Now, I'll just premise that. But I do like that at least it isn't the case of like, just regular like TV and movie streaming services where there's like a million different ones that you have to buy individual subscriptions for. At least I'm glad that that isn't the case for these anime streaming service sites, because yeah, it's just basically Crunchyroll and HIDIVE, and I think those are the two big ones, and that's it. And Crunchyroll is the major one. It's like the monopoly, which I don't support at all. I really hate monopolies, but it's just how it is, unfortunately. So yeah, again, takeaway from this video, I don't really recommend pirating a ton, but if you really need to, then again, torrenting, that's fine. Don't really pirate shit a lot of the time, I don't think. I'm not like an FBI agent or anything, but again, a lot of it is pretty shady and not in a good way. I don't know if there is a good way to that, but it's not amazing. I understand like all these like big tech companies already have your data anyway, but still, it's still pretty shady sometimes. And three, yeah, just get physical media. That's basically the takeaway from this video. I mean, I have been a big physical media head for a while. I have collected CDs, and I still continue to collect CDs. I know they're kind of out of fashion, but I like CDs, man. They sound good. I understand that a lot of them Even like the new ones, or a lot of the new ones especially, are pretty compressed in terms of their sound. Meanwhile, like vinyls are a lot more dynamic in terms of their dynamic range. But still, man, I just like CDs. And oftentimes you can still find like the original mix in like a used store or something for like a really cheap price. I found like several copies of like an original album from the artist that doesn't have like any of those stupid bonus tracks at the end. So yeah, as I said, highly recommend just getting physical media just in general, especially with like music and stuff, because that's what I'm a little bit more familiar in. But again, I do also recommend just getting physical media when it comes to DVDs and Blu-rays for anime shows. I understand that Blu-rays kind of are a hassle to play on a PC, but if you already have a console, then you can just, get an external monitor and then plug it in, and then boom, you're off to the races. I know with the PC though, you do have to buy like, I think, Power DVD, and it's pretty expensive. I think it's like 180. So honestly, I think for most people, I don't really recommend that, because it's already kind of a commitment to buy Blu-rays in the first place, since those are pretty decently expensive, especially for like an entire show, especially if you're buying like a lot of animes. So again, if you are going to do that, then I recommend just getting a console maybe, or just an actual Blu-ray player and then just playing it on your TV. I think that's probably better. But yeah, that is basically it, and I will see you guys later. Goodbye.